Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Friends, before going into the details of the war, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. Please support by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. We are a strong community. Number of victims after morning attacks on Kyiv increases to 3 Monday the 17th of October 2022, 11:36 on the 17th of October. At least one person was killed when a Russian rocket hit a residential building in the Shevchenkivsky district in Kyiv. Source: Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor of Kyiv, the city's prosecutor's office, Svetlana Vodolaha, spokeswoman for the State Emergency Service of Ukraine, and Ukrainska Pravda reporter, Kyrylo Tymoshenko, deputy head of the Office of the President of Ukraine. Update: the President's office stated that, as of 12:44, the number of people killed as a result of the kamikaze drone attack on a residential building has increased to 3. Another 19 people have been rescued. Details: earlier, at 11:32, Mayor Vitaly Klitschko reported that the body of a dead woman was recovered from under the rubble of a house in Shevchenkivsky district, and another person is under the rubble. Search and rescue operations continue later. The spokeswoman reported that another body has been found. The cause of death has not yet been established. According to the State Emergency Service, a total of 19 of the building's residents were rescued. Another woman was saved. Rescue operations are ongoing. Information on casualties and victims is being clarified. According to Klitschko, 28 drones flew in the direction of Kyiv in the morning. Most of the flying terrorists were shot down. However, 5 explosions were heard in Kyiv, 4 hits were reported earlier. One of the explosions occurred at an infrastructure facility, the other at a residential building, as a result of which part of the building from the 2nd to the 4th floor collapsed in the latter. Under the procedural leadership of the Kyiv prosecutor's office, due to the attack on the capital's infrastructure, a criminal proceeding was initiated for violation of the laws and customs of war, Part 2 of Article 438 of the Criminal Code of Ukraine. According to the investigation, on the 17th of October, Russian armed forces attacked residential and civilian infrastructure in the center of Kyiv, using kamikaze drones. An explosion occurred as a residential building in Shevchenkivsky district was hit. Roadway traffic in several streets in the downtown capital has been shut due to the Russian attack. Background: on the morning of the 17th of October, the Russians attacked Kyiv with Iranian-made kamikaze drones. There were 4 hits, but even more explosions. In particular, drones hit a residential building in the Shevchenkivsky district of the capital. Medvedev threatens Israel. Helping Kyiv will destroy relations with Russia. Irina Balachuk. Monday the 17th of October 2022, 12:40. Dmitry Medvedev, Deputy Chairman of the Security Council of the Russian Federation, has said that Israel's provision of military aid to Ukraine will destroy all relations between Russia and Israel. Source: Medvedev on Telegram. Quote from Medvedev: "It seems that Israel is going to supply weapons to the Kyiv regime. A very reckless step. It will destroy all interstate relations between our countries." Details: according to an official of the Russian aggressor state, if Israel supplies weapons to Ukraine, it is time for Israel to declare Bandera and Shuhevich its heroes. Stepan Bandera and Roman Shuhevich were Ukrainian politicians. Russian propaganda describes them as nationalists, using their figures to accuse Ukraine of Nazism. Background: earlier, Israeli Minister of Diaspora Affairs Nachman Shai said that it was time for Israel to provide military aid to Ukraine. Before that, The Washington Post, citing representatives of the security of the United States and allies, reported that Iran is strengthening its obligations to supply weapons to Russia for the war against Ukraine and is ready to transfer not only drones, but also surface-to-surface missiles. Russian Federation has problems with logistics after the explosions on the Crimean Bridge. It is increasingly difficult for Russia to support its vessels in the south of Ukraine due to damage to the Crimean Bridge. Logistical challenges for the forces of the Russian Federation in the south of Ukraine, most likely, became even greater after the damage to the Crimean Bridge on October 8. Restoration work continues. The bridge is partially open to traffic, but there are still many trucks waiting in queues to cross, said a review of British intelligence for October 17. To continue providing troops, in particular in the Kherson region, Russia is likely to increase supplies by land through Mariupol. Also, since the Russian presence in Kherson is tense and the supply routes through Crimea have deteriorated, ground logistics through the Zaporizhzhia region are becoming increasingly important for the Russians. Currently, Melitopol is a hub of supply routes and the main presence of Russian aviation, according to British intelligence. Sunflower oil on streets of Mykolaiv. Fire erupts in Russian drone strike on oil tank. A Russian attack with Iranian Shahed 136 kamikaze drones has damaged tanks with sunflower oil in the South Ukrainian city of Mykolaiv on the night of the 17th of October. A fire erupted. It was extinguished by the State Emergency Service. However, the tanks were damaged and oil is now leaking through and running down the streets of Mykolaiv. Dmytro Pletenchuk, the spokesperson of Mykolaiv Oblast Military Administration, said that this is the second time the enterprise was struck. The first time, Russia hit it with a cruise missile. 17% of the global sunflower oil export was handled by this terminal in Mykolaiv, he said. The local media Novostin reported that sunflower oil is now running down the streets of the city after two 7,500-ton tanks were damaged. The oil is running into sewage and puddles of sunflower oil form on the streets of Mykolaiv. How are kamikaze drones being used by Russia and Ukraine? Ukraine has accused Russia of using kamikaze drones against civilian targets in Kyiv. It's believed that they include Iranian-made Shahed 136 drones and that Russia has been using these since mid-September. What is Russia's kamikaze drone? The Shahed 136, which Russia call the Geranium-2, is a type of flying bomb. It has a warhead packed with explosives and is designed to loiter over a target until it is instructed to attack. The explosives detonate on impact, destroying the drone in the process. The Shahed 136 has a wingspan of about 2.5 meters, 8.2 feet, and can be hard to detect on radar. They fly low and you can send them in waves. These swarms of drones are much harder to counter by air defenses, military expert Justin Crump told the BBC. The Shahed 136 is also relatively cheap, costing about $20,000, £17,800. It's unclear exactly how many Russia has, but the US has said Iran planned to send hundreds to Russia. Iran has denied doing so. Kyiv attacked by kamikaze drones. Ukraine used kamikaze drones? There have been recent attacks on a Russian military base in Saki, in western Crimea, on an airbase near Sevastopol, and on Russian ships in Sevastopol harbor. Dr. Marina Myron, researcher in defense studies at King's College London, says, "If you look at the explosions in the attacks, they are quite small. I suspect that these are homemade kamikaze drones, which have had explosives strapped to them." What other drones do Ukraine and Russia have? Ukraine's main military drone is the Turkish-made Bayraktar TB2. It is about the size of a small plane, has cameras on board, and can be armed with laser-guided bombs. At the outset of the war, Ukraine had a fleet of fewer than 50 inches of these, says Dr. Jack Watling of the Royal United Services Institute, RUSI, think tank. Russia also uses the smaller, more basic Orlan 10, which have cameras and can carry small bombs. How have military drones been used? For both sides, Russia and Ukraine, drones have been effective for locating enemy targets and guiding artillery fire toward them. Russian forces can bring their guns to bear on the enemy within only 3 to 5 minutes of an Orlan 10 drone spotting a target, says Dr. Watling. An attack could otherwise take 20 to 30 minutes to carry out. Dr. Marina Myron says drones have allowed Ukraine to stretch its limited forces. If you wanted to seek out enemy positions in the past, you would have had to send out special forces units, and you might lose some troops, she says. Now, all you're risking is a drone. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.